Now looking at some local news, Lloydminster motorists may soon notice some minor differences to the city's photo radar operation. The news came during a public safety update to City Council. The city rotates enforcement through 44 zones and gave out just under 4,500 tickets in 2021. New guidelines put into place by the government of Alberta prohibit radar in transitional zones like Highway 16 entering the city, but Mayor Albert says Lloydminster's radar policy already exceeds most of the new rules.
The zones all meet the requirements, and we're not looking for those cherry-picking zones simply to collect some money from people.
The only change Lloydminster needs to make is the addition of decals to photo radar vehicles to help them stand out more. The city only operates speed enforcement and does not utilize red light cameras.
The item that's going to change most is you'll see some decals change on our vehicles. That's going to be the biggest part. I don't know what that exactly looks like, but it won't be as similar as Edmonton. If you've traveled on the Yellowhead, you've traveled on the White Mud or Anthony Henday, they're green.
The province is giving cities until December to comply with the new guidelines, but city staff says Lloydminster should be in compliance by April. A local hockey team is looking for the city's support as the Lloydminster U13 female Blazers have been named regional finalists in the Good Deeds Cup. This year's Good Deeds Cup focuses on making the game more inclusive, and back in January the team held a sledge hockey event to get their bid started. And last Saturday, the team was named the regional finalists for Alberta.
We're so proud of the girls with how hard they worked. You know, it kind of was a snowball effect, really. We weren't sure what this was going to be all about. You know, the event that night, we weren't sure if anybody was going to show up, and it was packed for 3 straight hours. Everybody enjoyed the experience trying sledge hockey. Then the girls going to city to speak to the city about the things they noticed at the arenas, the difficulties being in a wheelchair and being around. We've just been so proud of them.
The team's goal is to make hockey and the arena more accessible and inclusive. If they win, they will use the $100,000 towards a new accessible rink.
We want to do this so it's more inclusive for everyone to play a sport that we really like.
Lloyd isn't like the biggest city in Alberta, but like it can bring people from like that haven't been to Lloyd, like for sledge hockey or just normal hockey into town, because we usually only have tournaments for hockey, but we can now have tournaments for sledge hockey too.
The team needs the community support now more than ever, and they have a few reasons why you should vote for them.
I love playing the game of hockey. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I just want everyone to do it regardless of what disability they have.
Vote for us because we are doing a really good cause, and I think that we are really doing a good thing because it is for everyone, not just certain people.
If you love the game of hockey, and I love the game of hockey, wouldn't you want everybody else to love the game of hockey?
Voting has been open since the 19th, but this Saturday is a special voting day worth more votes.
It doesn't take long to vote, maybe 45 seconds. If you pull up that link, you can vote every day. Saturday's a big one for us. You can vote 10 times for every email address you have or your family members have. So yeah, please continue to vote and support our girls.
The last day you can vote is April 2nd. Now for another look at your fun Friday forecast, we go to Shelby Clark.
Thanks so much, Jasmine King. Now taking another look at your fun Friday forecast, we're going to take a look at the central zone of the provinces here. And on the Alberta side, we are seeing some slightly warmer temperatures compared to what we've been seeing across the region for sure. 5 and 6 in Red Deer and Rocky Mountain House, while it is 3 degrees in Edson. 2 in Whitecourt, while Jasper is sitting at that 6-degree mark as well. Edmonton's still sitting at 1, and Athabasca is slightly cooler, just seeing -3. Now switching over to our Saskatchewan side here, they are seeing those minus temperatures, so they have been cooled down compared to the Alberta side. -7 in Prince Albert, while it's -6 in Saskatoon and North Battleford. -8 in Meadow Lake, while Cold Lake is sitting at -6 degrees as well. And Melfort is looking the coolest at -9. Now going over to our northern region now to see what they are sitting at. They are looking a lot cooler. They definitely have cooled down quite a bit compared to what they've been seeing this week when they've actually been reaching those plus temperatures. -13 in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows, while it's -11 in Flin Flon and La Ronge. -14 degrees in South End, while it's minus 18, 19 in Wollaston Lake and Uranium City, and Stony Rapids has reached that minus 20 point. Now going over to our Alberta side here, usually down in this area they do see some warmer temperatures compared to the ones up top here. Fort McMurray and High Level are at minus 10, minus 11. Fort Chipewyan has almost reached that minus 20 point as well there. Down in Peace River they're at minus 2, Slave Lake is seeing minus 1, and Grand Prairie is still seeing that plus temperature just hitting 1. Now going over to our southern region now, they are looking quite warm. They're not seeing too bad of temperatures at the moment. Lethbridge is even at 11 degrees. 9 in Medicine Hat, while it's 6 degrees in both Calgary and Coronation, and Banff is seeing 8. Now going over to this side here, they are seeing some slightly cooler temperatures compared to the Alberta side. Minus 7 in Yorkton, while it's minus 3 in Regina. Moose Jaw is just hitting minus 1, and the rest are seeing those plus temperatures, with Estevan at 1, 5 in Swift Current, and Kindersley is at 3 degrees. Now going back across the region to see what we will expect throughout the evening and throughout the night into our weekend. We will be seeing some slightly cooler evening lows for sure. Provost will be seeing a low of minus 7, while Murnum and Wainwright will be seeing a low of minus 8. The rest will be seeing those double-digit temps. Unity and Bonnyville will be seeing a low of minus 12. Paradise Hill and Pearson will both be seeing a low of minus 13. And Meadow Lake and Isle of Cross will be seeing the coolest with a low of minus 16, minus 18. So some spots are even close to seeing that minus 20 point once again. So we are seeing quite a switch up in our evening lows compared to what we have been seeing. And some spots are even going to be seeing a high chance of some flurries. And now looking at temperatures tomorrow across the region, we will be seeing a cooler Saturday in most spots, ranging from around minus 2 to minus 5 in most spots on the map. And ending off with our 7-day forecast for here in the border city, we will be seeing a cooler Saturday with minus 6, a high chance of some snowfall. Hopefully it will be light. Sunday will end off that weekend with minus 2 on a slightly warmer note. Then we will be seeing those plus temperatures next week. So hopefully those high chances of some snowfall will melt down quickly on Tuesday and Wednesday with a mix of some sun and cloud. Then we will be seeing 4 degrees next Thursday and Friday. That's another look at your weather forecast. We'll have more coming up after the break.
Today for Primetime Local News, I'm joined with musician and charity founder Rob Nash to talk about his charity, the Rob Nash Project, that aims at helping Alberta students with their mental health. So thank you so much, Rob, for joining us here today.
Good, thank you.
So first, I thought we start off with what this project is all about and what you can tell us about it.
Yeah, so for me, it started off, I played music, as you might notice by some of the stuff behind me. We had a couple top 10 hits on the radio, but for me, I didn't want to be a musician growing up. For me, I want to tell my story. I went through some stuff when I was a teenager. I was in a major car accident. I was suicidal. I was self-harming. Nobody knew. None of my friends knew. None of my family knew. And I made it through that dark time, but I thought to myself, how many other people are like me? They're going through those same dark thoughts and not talking about it. And I thought, I need to tell my story. So I decided music would be a good way to tell a story. So I started a band, did our first album. I thought I sounded good. I thought I was a good writer, but it was just okay. And after a few albums, we got a record deal. We had a few top 10 hits on the radio. And then I got this opportunity to do a 9-month tour through schools, just me and my guitar telling my story. And I walked away from my record deal. Everyone thought I was crazy. When you walk away from a record deal, you just owe money. You don't have a dollar in your pocket. I just felt like it was the right thing to do. And after that 9-month tour, other schools started calling other communities, prisons, youth detention centers. And so I formed a charity called the Rob Nash Project, and we started taking donations, and the shows started getting bigger and bigger. And we started seeing massive breakthroughs. We'd do the shows, we'd tell stories, play songs. And afterwards I'd be standing with school counselors, and we actually had 917 young people came up after the shows, and they handed us their suicide notes saying, "Here, I don't need this anymore." And then they'd walk off with the school counselor and get the help that they needed. And a lot of those students would tattoo the lyrics of our songs on their arms where they used to cut. So I took all the names and the signatures from those suicide notes and I tattooed them on my arms. And I was just like, because I feel like when we talk about mental health, we seem to only talk about, or we focus on the suicides. When we talk about addiction, we only talk about the overdoses. And yes, we can learn from tragedy, but we have to balance that with stories of victory and triumph, you know? So that's what our tour did. And then it was getting bigger. Our last shows, like in March 2019, just before the pandemic shut everything down, we did 2 shows at the Exhibition Center for 31 schools in your area, Medicine Hat Arena. And then we walked off stage and it felt like the whole world ended. And I knew that this was going to be really tough on people's mental health being in isolation like this. So we had to find a new way to get our message out there.
Absolutely. And how are you guys hoping to help Alberta students today?
What we did is we put together a film crew and we decided to follow up with some of these students, like where are they now? And it took a lot to put it together. Actually, TELUS was one of the first companies. They had partnered with us before and they reached out. They have a TELUS Friendly Future foundation that they put things together. They've supported us in the past. And they said, you know, we want to help you. And it was very interesting how they approached us. TELUS came up and they said, at the most recent mental health report, so that Alberta has the lowest mental health score among all provinces. And I get their foundation supports organizations like ours that work with at-risk youth. And they said, so we want to help you build this program, this curriculum, so that we can get into schools, into Alberta. And it was so pure, you know, it was like, they were talking about the kids. They were talking about how to get the help. And sometimes it's hard to get people's motives when there's foundations involved. And, you know, but it was just so pure. They've been absolutely wonderful. So they donated $40,000 towards this cause. And they helped us get this off the ground. And we beta tested this curriculum in 4 different provinces. And then we took the feedback and then we beta tested it again. And the feedback has been incredible as basically students sit in the class, they watch my ugly face on their TV screen at the front of the class. I tell my story and then the students journal. What was Rob's struggle? What was his breakthrough? How did he get help? And how is he helping other people? And then they watch some of the student stories. And by the end, they ask this, in the journals, it says, what's your struggle? Where could you find your breakthrough? How could you get help? And the staff of the schools, they're so moved because they said they can't believe the stuff that the kids are pouring out into these journals. And they say a lot of these kids are flying under the radar. And then we've got great partnerships with Kids Help Phone and CMHA in the schools as well with the counselors to make sure that they get the follow-up help that they need.
It sounds like you guys have got such a positive response so far from starting this new leg of your foundation. So can you go a little bit more into detail about how this student response has been since you've released this new film segment of it?
You know, the teachers are saying, you know, as these kids, this is what I found most intriguing, I guess, is of the kids that were really opening up and saying, you know, I'm struggling with my mental health. I think I need help, you know. The staff are saying that they were only aware of about 30% of them. That means about 70% were flying under the radar. So teachers are saying, I've worked with this kid for the last 3 years and I didn't know that she was going through that. I didn't know that he was going through that. So it's this way of drawing these stories out from the students, because for me, I've always said it, you know, you don't want to hold this stuff inside, even tears. You got to flush that stuff out sometimes. You know, I'm a 6'5" dude covered in tattoos and a mohawk. And I love showing that it's okay to be tough and rugged on the outside and still be vulnerable and full of grace and love on the inside. And it's okay to showcase that.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your story and more about this project.
And thank you for being on our team and letting us share this.
This weekend, Family Expo returns to Lloydminster. You and your family can have a fun day out tomorrow and Sunday at the Lloyd X Grounds. The tent guys have put together so many great different activities that you and your family are going to enjoy. You can bounce in the bouncy houses, you can play the different games, you can head to the main stage for some great entertainment featuring some local performances by Center Stage Studios. Hula Hoop Circus will be performing, so will the Great Balonzo, and I certainly hope that you can join me for story time as well. On Sunday, there's going to be a baby crawl contest. You can get registered for that right now. And this is also in partnership with Collector Con. That's being hosted by Babs Gamings and Sports. So check out the video game tournament. There's also an opportunity to get an autograph from Gizmo Williams. It's going to be a very busy weekend out at the Lloyd X Grounds as Family Expo is back. You'll find all the details on Facebook, Lloydminster Family Expo. The Ukrainian Dancing on the Border Festival is already underway at the Vic Juba Community Theatre, and it's going to continue tomorrow and Sunday as well. Hundreds of dancers from across Alberta and Saskatchewan will be showcasing Ukrainian dance and all different age groups. Plus, coming up tonight and tomorrow night, there will be a special performance in support of Ukraine. If you'd like to get more details or you want to get your tickets, you can go online, vicjubatheatre.ca. Under the Bee, pie. Coming up tomorrow night, you've got an opportunity to support the Hillmont 4-H Club as they're hosting a pancake supper and a pie bingo. Every bingo will win a pie. It sounds absolutely delicious and a great way to support 4-H. Things will get underway at 4:30 at the Hillmont Hall. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Joining us today for this week's entertainment panel is the lovely Abby St. John. Thank you so much for giving the time to speak with us.
Of course.
Now we're starting off, some of these topics are a little bit interesting that we got on the go for today, but we're going to be starting off, of course, what some people are talking about a lot on Twitter and all that is Netflix's Addams Family show. Now, a lot of people are speaking about it only because you could see online how many articles are speaking about Christina Ricci has been cast, but not as Wednesday. And I think that was a huge shock for a lot of people, considering, you know, she was Wednesday in the 1990s film adaptation. So, you know, I think a lot of people are a little bit disappointed, but also a little bit excited to see how they're going to switch things up for this new show.
Yes, so we've known for a while that Jenna Ortega, known for her role in Jane the Virgin, and she was also in the newest Scream movie, she's playing Wednesday. That's been cast for a while now, and the show is going to be focusing on Wednesday, going through school and that kind of environment. So it's not really focusing on the whole family like we've seen in the past. It's going to be focusing on Wednesday. And yeah, Christina Ricci, she played Wednesday back in the 90s in the movie adaptation, and she was fantastic. I think she was the perfect Wednesday at the time. And so it's very exciting that the announcement came out that she is going to be in the show. I think that gives the show a lot more hype. It makes it more exciting. Now, there was a lot of speculation and rumors that she was going to be playing Morticia just because she played Wednesday and now she's grown up and she would be playing Morticia. Unfortunately, we already know that Catherine Zeta-Jones is playing Morticia, which I believe is a perfect casting. I think she's going to kill it as Morticia. Her character, though, Christina Ricci's character, is undisclosed. We have no idea what she's playing, how big her role is going to be, whether it's just going to be a small little cameo or what have you, but she is not going to be playing Wednesday. She's not going to be playing Morticia. I think not releasing what character she's playing or what role she's going to be taking on in this series, I think that's perfect. I want that surprise. I want to be surprised when I see her on screen. Because I love the Addams Family. Anybody who knows me knows that the Addams Family and the Addams Family Values are two of my favorite films of all time. I watch those movies so much. I have them on DVD. I love the Addams Family. I watched the animated ones, so I'm so excited that Tim Burton is taking on the Addams Family, because I think with Tim Burton's history and, you know, his weird, creepy films, and mixing it with the Addams Family, I think it's perfect. It's a perfect combination, and you know it's going to be weird, and that's exactly what to expect when you think of the Addams Family. Just weird. So I'm very excited, and you know, tentatively the series is coming out later in 2022 on Netflix. So hopefully that doesn't change and it's not pushed back any longer. But as of right now, expected to be later this year. Very excited.
Yeah, I thought it was a great topic, especially with you. I know you are an Addams Family freak and a huge fan, so I thought this was a great topic to be able to speak on, and I know you were going to be excited about it, but with everybody hearing about Christina Ricci being in it, I hope they actually do, like, I agree with you, like, keeping it a secret almost and kind of, like, shocking those fans out there just seeing who she plays as, because, like, then you aren't really expecting to see when she comes in, and then when she does as whatever character, then you're like, oh, there she is, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. So maybe they might actually keep it a bit low-key. I don't know if they will. I kind of doubt it, but I think it'd be kind of smart on their part to keep it low-key and, you know, people won't know exactly who she's playing as. But so far for the casting of what I was looking at online, it looks like it's going to be a great show. They picked a lot of great actors and actresses, so hopefully it's going to be great, and I think a lot of, you know, yeah, it's going to bring back a lot of nostalgia for a lot of people that were fans just like you are. But now moving on to a new topic that, you know, kind of flipping the script for sure compared to what we were just speaking about, but we are speaking now on, and some people have seen this online, of course, with Maury. The show is ending after 31 seasons, and it's pretty sad, you know. I think everybody has heard of this show. They've all watched this talk show. They've all seen the drama that it brought, you know. It was just hilarious TV, honestly. But according to Maury Povich, you know, he was ready to retire 6 years ago. So it's kind of sad now that it's coming to an end, but I guess, you know, good for him for, you know, getting that retirement and, you know, probably going to enjoy his days off, you know.
Yes, definitely. This is a show that everyone has seen at least once, where you're homesick during the day, there's nothing else on, or you're up super late and nothing's on, and you see the Maury show. Everyone has at least seen one episode. If you haven't, you're living under a rock, because everyone knows who Maury Povich is and the Maury show. And yeah, it is very sad that it is wrapping up after 31 years. The final production will wrap up in May, and then the last new episodes will continue to air until September. But a little bit more good news is that the show will continue to air, you know, previous episodes after the season finale, or series finale rather. So you're still gonna get the Maury show, but it is just gonna be repeats after the final season ends. Now, Maury Povich has known for a while that this is what he's wanted. In an interview, he said, 6 years ago when I was ready to retire, my NBC Universal family asked me to continue the show. Even though I told them that I was ready for assisted living, out of loyalty to NBC Universal and my more than 100 staff and crew members, Tracy Wilson and I agreed to one more deal. I'm so proud of my relationship with NBC Universal and all those who worked on the Maury show, but as I occasionally tell my guests on Maury, enough already. So that's a quote from Maury. So it was his idea around 6 years ago to say goodbye. And he did give us a little bit more content, which is always nice. And, you know, the show will continue, just repeats, but it's going to leave a lasting effect for sure, just because of how long it is and how big of an effect it's had on everyone who watches the show. So I'm very sad that it's ending, but we'll still get, it's not gone forever. We'll still get those repeats on TV as well.
Yeah, we'll still get those late night episodes to catch whenever you are up late at night. So I think it's good to see that they'll still be, of course, on TV. But I think, you know, during this time, there's so many reboots of old shows like we were just talking about in movies, and then there's now that are ending after so long. It's sad to see. I think a lot of people are, you know, it's kind of rough seeing shows like how long it's been on air kind of coming to an end, but it makes sense, and I think it was definitely a good run, and especially the fact that he was ready to retire and even spoke to, you know, NBC. It's good to see that they had a good relationship, so hopefully he's happy and everything. But that's all the time we have for this week's entertainment panel, unfortunately. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Abby.
Of course, thank you.
Ending off, we're taking another quick look at your 7-day forecast. We will be seeing a cooler Saturday at -6 with a low of -11, and we will be seeing a 50% chance of some flurries, but it will be hopefully some light snowfall. And then on Sunday, we'll end off this weekend slightly warmer at that -2 mark with a mix of some sun and clouds. So hopefully there's some more sun that will peek behind those clouds throughout Sunday. Then next week, we will be seeing those plus temperatures start up again with one on Monday and Tuesday, and seeing a high chance of some snowfall to start off the week. Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll see a mix of some sun and cloud, and Wednesday we'll be seeing that 2-degree mark with a little bit more sun peeking behind those clouds. Then Thursday we will be seeing a slightly cloudier day, but we will be seeing 4 degrees, and that will continue on into next Friday, where we will be seeing some cloudier skies as well.
Thank you for that, Shelby, and thank you for joining us on Primetime Local News. You can join us again in the second hour.